Staying on that theme then, what advice would you give parents of teenagers how to manage the different areas that teenagers have to govern? Because I think my parents will hate me saying this, but one of the best things I found that my parents did when I was growing up is they, when I was drinking, they wouldn't say to me, "Don't go drinking," or "There's like you're grounded" or anything like that. They'd say, "If you're going out drinking and you need help or you've drank too much, call. Call and we'll come get you," because the idea of you being in trouble is more of a horrible idea than you drinking in the first place and me being angry about that.
Yeah.
And I always remembered that because there were multiple times I'm underage, I'm not experienced drinker at all, and the amount of times that I was in trouble, I was like puking up my guts, or I just like couldn't see straight, and I'd tell someone at like the party I was at, just like phone my mum, like I'd be like crying or something like that, and saying phone mum, and they'd be like, "Are you sure? Because you're probably going to get in trouble."
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Yeah, it's fine, it's fine," and then they just like throw me into the back, and then that would be it. I'm not saying that's the best thing my parents ever did, but I always remembered that it's like it was a very modern take on that, because I always remembered that I was a kind of outlier in that instance. Like not a lot of other parents were behaving that way, and I think it was the best thing, because it taught me anyway how to drink in moderation.
Yeah. No, my parents sound very similar to yours. They were really cool actually, and again, don't get me wrong, they weren't saying, "Yeah, go and enjoy a drink tonight, Gavin. You're 16." It wasn't that at all. It was, they knew fine well what we were up to, and instead of getting angry and not letting us out the house, it was they kept a close eye, I think, basically. And actually, I didn't really do anything stupid. You know, I didn't. When a lot of people were taking drugs, I wasn't. I went out and drank when I shouldn't have, and we would sneak down the beach and have cans of cider and puke up everywhere and be home for a certain time and then go play a game of rugby the next day, which I just couldn't ever imagine doing now. But I think parents need to remember themselves as a teenager. Think about all the mistakes you made, because your kids are going to make them. And when they do make them, think about how your parents spoke to you or didn't speak to you or should have spoken to you. Think about how you felt in those moments. Think about how confusing it was for you as a teenager at times, how exciting it was for you as a teenager, what things meant to you. And I think it's that trying to almost force yourself to go back and be in those shoes again. I mentioned earlier that my son turns 14 tomorrow, and there's things he says and does, and there's that almost that automatic, you want to turn and go, don't be so stupid, but you have to almost catch yourself before you say something that's going to upset them or hurt them, because there's moments I sit there and I just bite my lip and I think, oh my God, that's just me. It's just me. That's the sort of things I did and said. And so, yeah, I think, again, it's very hard to give parents a certain piece of advice, but I think one of the most important things we can do, firstly, make sure that you are there for your teenager, that you see them and that you truly hear them. I think there's a lot of parents at the moment I talk to are really worried about their kids at the moment, particularly because of the last couple of years and what they've been through, and the fact that no one really knows what sort of impact it's going to have on them long term and things like that. And, you know, most parents I speak to will tell me that, oh, exams aren't important, but then they tell me they really want their kids to do well in their exams because they want their kids to do well. And I'll say to them, yeah, but you don't need to pass exams to do well in life. Oh, we know that. But because there's still that whole stigma around exams and getting to university and having a successful career. And albeit I think times have changed a wee bit on that as well. You know, there's that phrase, no wrong path, that circles around education. And it's so true. And I think parents need to know that there is now no wrong path. I was going to say to success. To happiness. Because success is different things to different people. And I also think nowadays, as a parent, like the things that my son is going to be able to go and do, they didn't exist when I was a teenager. So I have to try hard. There's things that are available to my son now in terms of school opportunities, career opportunities that didn't exist So I think one of the things for parents is to make that effort, make that time to really understand this new world that we're in now. Because actually, when I went to school as a teenager, the pressure was pass your exams and go to uni. That is success. You will go to university. That's the only reason I went to uni, dude, was because my parents wanted me to go to uni. Now, I'm very grateful for the experience I had at uni. I met my wife. I met some of the best friends I've ever had in my life. It took me away from home and gave me all these wonderful experiences. So I don't regret it. But if it had been me, I wouldn't have gone actually to university. I would probably have gone and travelled quicker than I did. I would probably have maybe done some college qualifications. But now, I mean, some of the apprenticeship programs that are out there are absolutely unbelievable, like genuinely brilliant, and paid as well. That would have been appealing at 17 years of age. But I think now, as a parent myself of a teenager, it's not reacting. It's just taking a moment to truly see and hear what's going on, and make the effort to actually research what is going on for young people now. Because actually, it's bloody brilliant. There's great opportunities out there. Some of them are a bit scary to me because I don't really understand it. But that's why I think parents need to make the time to go find out about it. So, yeah, put yourself in their shoes, see them, hear them, and make the effort to really understand what's out there now.